Okay, so good morning once again. Today we want to continue with our class on Excel for data analytics. And let me just show you what we did last week. Last time when we met. So last time when we met, we looked at how you can enter data. And from there, we move on to create our first project, which is to set up a grade book, a class grade book. And from there, we were able to calculate the total of each student and the average score of each student, their minimum score, the maximum score, and the average. Yeah. And we also did some conditional formatting at the end of the day. So this is what we achieved last time we met. So today we want to expand the data a little bit and do some quick analysis on it. And today's project is centered on a payroll. So we'll be working on a payroll today. We'll be working on a payroll today, and hopefully we'll be able to reach a good point. So let's get started. Now, this is a payroll of a particular organization. So we call it After School Academy Employee Payroll. So we have the first name of the person, the last name, the daily wage, and the month we are dealing with. So the first thing we want to do is to calculate the monthly wage, the monthly payments, or monthly pay for each of the employee. So to do that, the simple formula for that is to multiply the amount you are paying for each staff per day together with the number of days the staff came to work. So for instance, the first employee, Elvis, came to work for 19 days, and his daily wage is 750 naira. So that means at the end of the month, he will be receiving 750 times 19. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Good. So the simple formula for that is to do equals to, this is cell C4. So C4 multiply by is your asterisk. So that's for asterisk. Now you are going to press Shift 8 on your computer. So with your Shift 8, you should be able to get your asterisk. Good. So multiply by D4. That is where you have your day's work. Good. Then you press Enter. So as soon as you do that, you should get your results.
Okay.
So now we can copy the, sorry, I want to make it bigger a little. So you can copy this for the other ones. Good. Just come to the plus sign here and copy down. And that's it. So we've been able to calculate their monthly pay. So if I want to find the total amount we are paying for the entire staff for the month of January, so I can just come down here. Let me put total here. Total monthly payments. So to find the total monthly payments, that will be the total of all the money I'm paying out. So that will be what? Equals sum, then open bracket, good. Then you select your range, or you can just type it E4 colon E22. That is the first data is on cell E4, and the last one is on cell E22. Good. You close your brackets and you press enter. So you get your answer. So this is the amount of money we are paying per month, 650,100. If I want to calculate the person that is collecting probably the maximum amount of salary at the end of the month, so that will be equals max, then still the same range, E5 to E22. Good. So the person with 84,000 naira is collecting the highest amount of money. So I can easily locate that here. This is it. So efficient growth is the highest paid staff. Let's see the minimum paid staff. So the minimum paid staff will be equals mean, and that will be E5 to E22. So the minimum paid staff is collecting 9,000 naira. If I want to get the average payment that the staff are collecting, that will be equals average, then E5 to E22. Good. Close bracket, and then so the average salary payment is 35,325. So from this, I can also deduce that means from this data I have here, the difference between the person receiving the lowest payment to the person, to the average salary, the difference is too much. So with this, there might need to be an improvement on how much we are paying this guy that is receiving 9,000 naira. Because if the average salary is 35,000 and the person receiving the lowest is being paid 9,000, then something is wrong somewhere. Okay. Now, there are still some things we use to calculate in data analysis. Sometimes we want to calculate the median. So the median is just the middle amount, not necessarily the average. The average is the summation of all the amounts divided by the number of counts. But the median is just when you arrange the amount in a particular order, and the middle figure, that's the median. So let's find the median. Equals median, and you open your bracket or you press your tab. As soon as you see the median selected, you press your tab, it will open the bracket automatically. Then put your range, E5 column E22, and you close the bracket. So the median salary or median payment for the month is 30,000. We can also find the mode. Your mode, is it mode? No, sorry. We also find the range. That's what I want to say. So the range is the difference between your maximum and your minimum. That's how we calculate range. If you are familiar with statistics, that's the formula for range. The maximum minus minimum. So let's do that. So equals, so our maximum value here is 84. So I will just click it, 84 minus the minimum value, 9,000. Then I'll press enter. So the range is 75,000 naira. So that means the difference between the person that is collecting the highest salary and the person collecting the lowest salary is 75,000 naira. So that's a very huge difference. That's a very huge difference. Let's proceed. Another thing we use to calculate is the percentile. So you might need to calculate the percentile, and percentile, or sorry, the quartile. The quartile is calculated into, you calculate two quartile. The first quartile, which is 1/4, and the third quartile, which is 3/4. You don't calculate the second quartile because the second quartile is actually the average, because that is 2/4, and that is 1/2. So we already have the average, so you don't calculate second quartile. Then the fourth quartile, which is 4/4, is already 1. So there is no reason to calculate that one. So to calculate your first quartile, the simple thing you need to do is to type your equals and type percentile. And we are making use of this first one, the one with ESC.
Yes.
Yeah. Then you press your tab to enter it. Then you enter your array. Array is just the range of your calculation. So E5 to E22, you close the brackets and you put your comma. Sorry, that's a mistake. E5 to E22, you put your comma, then you put your K. Your K is what you are multiplying it with. So since it is the first quartile, that will be 0.25. The way we arrive at that is 1 divided by 4. 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. So that's the first quartile. Then close the bracket and press enter. So we have 16,750. So let's format this to be Naira. So you come to your general, at the number group, you come here and you pick currency. So when you pick currency, it automatically gives you 16,750 Naira. Okay, let's calculate the third quartile. The third quartile. So the third quartile is equals. Then you calculate your percentile. You put your percentile again. You open brackets, put your range E5 to E22, then comma. For the third quartile, that will be 3/4. So if you calculate 3/4, that's 0.75. You close your bracket and you press enter. And ensure you format it as a currency. And that's all. So these are basically some of the quick statistics we drew in data analysis. So you've been able to see how to calculate your monthly pay, your maximum, your minimum, your average, your median, your range, your first quartile, and your third quartile. And these are the results for that. Okay, so we are done with this particular table. Any question?
Good.
Okay, so now I will move to the second table, which is a little bit, we have added some other things to the table we just finished working on. So this is the second table. Can you see the second table?
Yeah.
Okay. So this particular table now, the first one we consider does not involve extra days. No, but this time around, we are considering extra days. We are considering extra days. Okay. So now for this particular one, the assumption is that every month you are expected to come to work 20 days in a week, in a month. So if you come to work more than 20 days, that means you already have extra days. So for instance, this second employee came to work for 25 days. And with the assumption that every staff should come to work for 20 days, and that is 5 times in a week, this particular staff came to work for 5 more days. So how do we calculate their monthly payments without paying more than their actual salary? The meaning of that is, if you are employed to work for 20 days, and at the end of the month, you are expected to collect 20 multiplied by your daily wage. If you do more than 20 days, then you are going to be paid for your extra days, but not the full daily wage. You will be paid half of your daily wage. For instance, if you come to work for 1 extra day, the meaning of that is, if your daily wage is 750 naira and you come to work for 1 extra day, then your monthly pay, you will receive a monthly bonus of half payment of 1 day. So half payment of 1 day will be 375 naira based on your daily wage, which is 750 naira. Do you understand what I'm trying to explain?
Yeah.
Good. So let's do that calculation now.
Okay.
So now for Abodurin Elvis, he came to work for 19 days. So that means his calculation will still be 750 times 19. But for Adebare Ola, he came to work for 25 days. So his calculation will not be 25 times 1,350, because that means we will be paying him more than expected. So his calculation will be 20 multiplied by 1,350 plus 5 multiplied by half of 1,350. That would be his total payment for the month. Do you get that? Okay. So let's get started. So how do we calculate monthly pay for each of these ones? By considering the condition that anytime we have more than 20, the multiplication will be multiplied by 20, and later we can now calculate the bonus. Together we will now add them and have our total payment. So how do we write that formula? So this will be introducing us to another type of formula. Please open the door. Yeah, call me, please. All right, let's continue. So you press your equal to button, then sum. This time around, because we have some conditions we are including, you need to pay attention to the condition we'll be putting. Okay, so sum if, I will open the bracket. Please give me some seconds. Let me attend to something here. Hello?
Yeah, okay.
All right, please. Okay, so now I want to calculate the monthly pay for the first person. So the formula we are going to use for that, instead of just saying 750 multiplied by 19, we are going to do something else. We are going to introduce the if formula now, which is a conditional kind of formula. So we are going to say if, equals if Then you put your logical test. The logical test is the logic you are putting or the condition you want to satisfy. So if the condition is not satisfied, you are going to put the false statement. If the condition is satisfied, you are going to put the true statement. So if the first thing we want to do is you are going to check if D4, which is the day's work, if D4, if it is less than 20, that's the test, then that means you should go ahead and perform a particular operation. And that operation is then do C4 multiply by your D4. Now, if that is not true, if the statement D4 less than 20 is not true, then this is what you should do. Do C4 multiply by 20. So that would be the first statement. Now, let me explain that again. So the meaning of this formula is that we are saying before you carry out this operation, make sure you check for these conditions if they are satisfied. If these conditions are not satisfied, then these are the things you should do instead. So what is the first condition? What is the major condition? The major condition is that check if the numbers you have in this column, for example, the D4, check if it is less than 20. Because what we are considering is that anybody that have more than 20, then the multiplication should be 20 times the daily wage. But if you have less than 20, go ahead and multiply anything the person have as multiplied by daily wage. So if D4 is less than 20, then the truth statement, what you should do is multiply the daily wage by the number of days the person came to work. But if D4 is not less than 20, then what you should do is multiply the daily wage by 20. Don't multiply it by what you have here. Go ahead and multiply it with 20. Later, we are going to consider the excesses. That's what it means. So, do you get that? All right. So, I'm going to press enter now. Okay. So you will notice that we still have the same value for the first candidate. And the reason is because the first candidate does not have up to 20. So the multiplication is just 750 times 19. But let's see what will happen with, when you have someone that has more than 25 or more than 20. So for instance, this individual has 25 days. So what we expect to happen is to multiply C4 multiply by 20. Later we will consider the excesses, which is 5. And that is what just happened here. So 20 multiplied by 1,350 will give you this. So it means our formula is correct. Then we can proceed to copy for others. And that is it. So we've been able to find the monthly payment. And if you check it, you will notice that for every time we have more than 20, it's multiplying it directly by 20. For instance, look at this. 1,000 multiplied by 20 will give you 20,000 naira. So it's not considering the fact that it is 25. Because later we are going to consider that 5, which will be 5 multiplied by half of the monthly payment. Okay, good. So now let's calculate the bonus payment especially for people who have more than
20 days.
More than the 20 days. Good. So the formula for that will be equals, that is half of the daily wage multiply by their extra days. You know, we are not paying them the full daily wage for extra days. So what we are going to do is 0.5 multiply by the daily wage, which is C4. Then you will now multiply it by the extra days, which is E4. So that's the formula. Do you get that? Okay. So I'll press enter. So for the person, for the number one student, you will notice that there is no bonus payment for him because the extra days is 0. Yes. So let's do for the other ones. So for the next person, the bonus is 3,375. Why? Because he has 5 extra days. So 5 multiplied by half of 1,350 will give us 3,375. So let's copy for the other ones. So with that, we've been able to see the people that are receiving extra bonuses. Now, the total payment will just be the addition of this, and we are gone. We are done. So equals sum, F4, open bracket, F4, E4, and G4. So now you will notice that this time around, I use comma instead of colon. Right. The reason why I use comma is because I'm only adding 2 things. If I'm adding something that is in a range, like I'm adding like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things together, that is a range. So you can use comma. But because this time around is just 2, you can use colon, sorry, if you are adding in a range, you use colon. But if you are adding just 2 things, or 2 separate things that are not in the same, that the column did not follow each other, and you are adding them together, then you use comma to separate them, and you press enter. So that is that. You copy for the other ones. Okay, so we are done with this. So you can repeat the same thing we have for there. You can find the total payment, find the maximum payment, the minimum, the quartile, and all those things. Let me just paste it here. So this is total payment. So if I want to know the total payment I'm making, let me remove this. The total payment I'm making without the bonus. I want to look at the total payment I'm making without the bonus. So that will just be equals sum, open brackets, then you put your range, that is F4, okay, to F22. That is the total payment without the bonus. Then the total payment with the bonus, you just copy to the right. It will give you this. It will give you the correct one because Excel will automatically calculate the one at the top. So it will not make any mistake in that. You can see, if you check it, you will see it's giving you G4 to G22, which is what you want. Then the same thing you can copy down here. If you click here now, you will see it's H4 to H22. So this is the total payment you are making with bonus, without bonus. This is how much you are spending for bonus. Then you can do your maximum, your minimum. Let's just do that quickly. Max F4,
F22.
okay, to F22. Enter. Then let's do the minimum, min F4 to F22. Enter. Then let's do the average. Average F4 to F22. Okay. The median now equals median F4 to F22. Sorry, that's a mistake. Let me take it again. Median F4 to F22. Okay. Then the range equals maximum minus minimum. Enter. Then the first quartile, percentile equals percentile. The range F4 to F22, comma 0.25. Enter. And the third quartile equals percentile F4 to F22, comma 0.75. Close bracket, enter. So let's format this as currency and format this as currency. Then we can copy the other ones like this. And that's it. Okay. So we've been able to do this analysis for the January payments for the employee. So any question?
I'm good.
Okay. So our time is up already for today. It's already 11. Sorry, I planned 9 to 11. So because I already have another engagement by 11. So please, on Monday, we are starting by 9, by God's grace. So please put committee to her. So I will stop here for today. We are going to continue from there next time. So I'm going to send the raw data to you so that you can also work on it during the weekend. And I will also send the recording to you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. So if
And
you have
you
any
too.
question at any time, just chat me up on WhatsApp.
All right.
All right. God bless you.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.